Hi everyone, I am Julia.
My name is Riikka.
And I am Sounghyun.
The resource we are investigating is plastic. While the plastic industry produces many useful and needed products, plastic bags are polluting the planet's environment. Using so many plastic bags is dangerous to the ecosystem and our health. We need to change things. What is plastic? Plastic is a polymer, synthetic, of high molecular mass. The raw materials needed to make most plastics come from fossil fuels like petroleum and natural gas. The word plastic comes from the Greek language and means capable of being shaped or molded.
Plastic bags are ruining our environment and our health. Everyone uses plastic in one way or another. For example, retail shops use plastic bags and plastic packaging. Restaurants have plastic containers, and construction companies rely on plastic pipes for water and sewage. Plastic bags are ruining our environment and our health. Everyone uses plastic in one way or another. For example, retail shops use plastic bags and plastic packaging. Restaurants have plastic containers, schools have plastic products in the classroom, and construction companies rely on plastic pipes for water and sewage.
Plastic bags are durable and degradable and decompose very slowly, sometimes taking hundreds of years. Too many plastic bags and bottles means too much litter filling our landfills. Waste disposal is complicated because recycling plastic is difficult and labor-intensive. To recycle plastic effectively, it has to be sorted according to the plastic coating, and burning plastic in incinerators can release toxic fumes into the air.
We use many plastic products mainly because of convenience and they're economical. For example, bottles, traffic cones, hoses, trays, foam, different kinds of containers, pipes, and even car parts.
What's strange is that we all use plastic bags, bottles, and containers without even knowing the hidden cost and the negative environmental impact in our society. We need to change our lifestyle and stop using some types of plastic products if we want to live in a clean, ecological, sustainable world.
1 million sea creatures die every year because of plastic bags. We throw plastic bags into our oceans, killing innocent animals.
What happens is that the animals get curious and they come to check out the plastic and they get caught in it and drown.
Another reason sea creatures are dying is because they mistake plastic bags for food and choke on them. They get poisoned in the plastic and die. If sea creatures die, then the other animals in the food chain will be affected by bioaccumulation. Do we really want that? Alternatives to plastic bags are reusable cloth bags. They are eco-friendly. Just take them with you when you go shopping. Also, instead of using plastic containers for storing food or drinks, use glass or ceramic containers.
Scientists have discovered several alternatives to plastic used for bags, bottles, and containers. Scientists are working on fructose and corn-based materials, which can be substituted for plastic in the future.
Did you know that researchers are working on biodegradable plastics that break down in exposure to sunlight, water, bacteria, and can be eaten by insects? Scientists just recently developed plastics using biomass, including vegetable starch of the green pea. Imagine plastic bags and bottles made from a little green pea or sugar from fruits.
Yes, this is the way to save our planet in the future, but for now it is our responsibility to do small steps to prevent further damage to Earth and our human population. Do you want to know what plastic is really made of? It's 90% petroleum. The other 10% is water mixed with toxic chemicals. Petroleum and natural gas necessary for the production of most plastics are non-renewable resources. If we keep using these natural resources so quickly, we'll run out of them. Do we need plastic bags that badly that we would destroy our Earth?
Many wars have been fought over who controls oil and gas. There have been and continue to be many fights over which communities control the land having oil resources and which companies can use these limited resources.
Another way plastic causes conflict is when plastic manufacturers fight over who will get the materials from certain countries.
The consequences of this oil-based plastic conflict that are many people lose their belongings, homes, and even their lives because the government is more concerned about power and money than the protection of people.
But people can resolve conflicts too. Governments and companies don't always have to fight over scarce supplies. If we change our ecological footprint and work for environmental justice, we can stop the oil companies from the extraction of so much petroleum.
A benefit of cooperation is that eco-friendly companies can clean up the Earth by working together. They could convince other big companies with polluting factories to switch from using limited raw materials to manufacturing using sustainable resources. We think plastic is a real problem to our environment. It is killing innocent animals, making the food chain imbalanced, and making our environment dirty. We don't think we really need plastic bags and bottles so much, especially if it means killing our environment.
A small step solution to plastic bag is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Also, we can use glass instead of plastic for storing food. Doing this can help our planet, but that's just the start of what we need to save our Earth from dying a dirty, trash-filled death.
Think about it. Why do we use plastic? Is it a want or a need? It's a need because plastic is very convenient, inexpensive, light, and easily moldable. But did you know that Australians, for example, consume more than 1.5 million tons of plastic every year? That means more than 71 kilograms on average per person. Imagine that waste comes from that.
Plastic is ruining our environment as well as our lives. A lot of food and drink comes in contact with plastic, but not all plastics are safe.
To be safe, you should be aware and familiar with plastic coding. Code number 1 is safe but should not be reused. Code number 2, 4, and 5 are safe for storing food and drinks. Code number 3, 6, and 7 should be avoided. Don't ever heat up food in plastic containers. It's dangerous for your health. Instead, use glass or ceramic containers for hot drinks and storing your food.
Plastic impacts the environment. Plastic contributes to a huge amount of solid waste while plastic recycling continues to grow. There's a significant waste and plastic can be recycled. There are certainly environmental problems associated with plastic and the toxic industries are creating on the manufacturing process. Plastic polymers are never fully biodegradable and ultimately break down to toxic dust which recycles into our food chain. Plastic is made of petroleum, a valuable non-renewable natural sources.
The purpose of our presentation was to determine, do we want to live in a world made of plastic bags, bottles, and containers, which pollutes our environment and is hazardous to our health? Or should we stop using so much plastic, everyone, reduce our carbon footprint, reduce garbage, save our planet, and take care of our own health?
Before we finish, we would like to share you something interesting facts about plastic bottles and containers. Here are some really shocking.
It takes 450 years for one plastic bottle to break down and absorb in the ground. The ground becomes toxic. 11% of household waste is plastic, 40% in which is plastic bottles. 13 billion plastic bottles are disposed of each year. Plastic garbage thrown into the ocean kills 1 million sea creatures every year.
An estimated 14 billion pounds of trash, much of its plastic is dumped in the world oceans every year. Every year we make enough plastic film to wrap an entire state of Texas. 1 ton, 25,000 plastic bottles. Recycling 1 ton of plastic bottles can save 1.5 ton of carbon emissions. 25 recycled PET bottles can be used to make an adult's fleece jacket. 13 billion plastic bags are issued every year, an average of 300 per adult per year.